Have you ever wondered which is the tallest skyscraper in the world? Well, if so, we are providing you the information you desire today. So watch this video till the end to know. And don't forget to subscribe. Here we begin. Lotte World Tower. The Lotte World Tower, which rises 555 meters above Seoul, is the country's first building with more than 100 floors. Its sleek, tapered design, inspired by traditional Korean art forms, stands out against the area's mountainous terrain. In addition, they designed a pair of high-tech double-deck elevators to transport visitors to the top in just 60 seconds, traveling at 10 meters per second, making these sky shuttles among the world's fastest double-deck elevators. Otis collaborated with LG Electronics to turn the one-minute journey into an unforgettable experience. Each cabin's walls and ceiling are covered in organic LED OLED screens. As a result, passengers are immersed in a virtual journey through the city's history and landmarks, including the 14th century Gyeongbok Palace, Jamsil Baseball Stadium, the National Assembly Building, and the Lotte World Tower itself, once the doors close. In addition, Guinness World Records has certified the double-deck elevators as the world's highest-capacity elevators, carrying 54 passengers at a time. Buildings typically have a flat roof that remains open when elevator machines are lifted from the ground and lowered into the machine room at the top of the structure. However, the pinnacle of the Lotte World Tower resembles two spires, an architectural feature that complicated the installation of four 100-ton traction machines, each weighing more than 21 tons. Special rating had to be built to move the machines into position without damaging the two spires. First, the traction machines had to be lifted from the ground to a location on the 124th floor in a complex procedure that had to be practiced several times. Once inside, special rigging was used to safely and precisely move the heavy machines into their proper position without damaging the spires. Ping & Finance Center. The Ping & Finance Center, located in the city's Fusion District, represents a new generation of the prototypical Asian skyscraper. Very tall, very dense, and extremely well-connected. Ping & Finance Center rises from a prominent location in the city center, seamlessly connecting to nearby commercial and residential properties and the Pearl River Delta's high-speed rail corridor. At its full height, the tower will represent a city that has seen unprecedented urban growth, from 300,000 to approximately 10 million people in the 35 years since it became China's first special economic zone. The tower is shaped like a stretched steel cable, outstretched by the sky and the ground. The facades taper to form a pyramid at the top of the tower, giving it a prismatic appearance. 8 composite super columns that protrude beyond the building envelope emphasize the form. This design is both visually appealing and functional. In addition, the tower's streamlined shape improves structural and wind performance, reducing baseline wind loads by 35%. The tower's tapered facade, designed for local weather resistance, reduces wind loads by 40%, and its stainless steel piers form a protective net against lightning strikes. Ping & Finance Center's facade is one of its most notable features. At the time of completion, the tower boasted the world's largest stainless steel facade, made of 1,700 tons of 316L stainless steel. This material was chosen for this project due to its corrosion resistance, which will keep the Ping & Finance Center's appearance unchanged for several decades, despite Shenzhen's salty coastal atmosphere. Abraj Al Bayt Clock Tower. Abraj Al Bayt, also known as Mecca Royal Clock Tower, refers to the clock tower in the center of the complex. The building is also known informally as Mecca Clock Tower or Mecca Clock Tower. Abraj Al Bayt is situated in the heart of Mecca, Saudi Arabia. Mecca is the holiest place in the world for 1.8 billion Muslims, and the building's exact location is also noteworthy. It is only 50 meters from Islam's holiest site, the Kaaba, which is surrounded by the Masjid Al-Haram, the Grand Mosque, the world's largest mosque. The authorities even demolished a hill and a fort for this special location. In addition, Mecca Clock Tower is the city's new landmark due to its unique location and significant height. The complex's central tower, Mecca Clock Tower, stands 601 meters, 1,972 feet tall, and has 120 floors. As of 2019, it is the third tallest building in the world, trailing only the Burj Khalifa and the Shanghai Tower. For more information, see World's Tallest Buildings in 2020. The most notable feature is not only its height but also its bulk. Abraj Al Bayt has the largest floor area of any skyscraper building in the world. It is made up of 7 individual towers of varying heights. Aside from the central clock tower. All of the other shorter towers are over 230 meters tall, and the two beside the middle tower are 280 meters tall. With all of these massive structures linked together, Abraj Al Bayt appears far more imposing and majestic than Pyongyang's Ryogyong Hotel. Macca Royal Clock Hotel Tower and the entire complex are not just used as hotels, it also houses a shopping mall, an Islamic museum, residences, and a significant amount of religious space, such as prayer rooms, so its location makes sense. The buildings, which primarily serve as hotels and contain 858 suites, are operated by Fairmont Hotels and Resorts, a Canadian operator of five-star luxury hotels that operates more than 60 landmark luxury hotels around the world, including the Fairmont San Francisco and the Shanghai Peace Hotel, all of which are located in the city's central plots. The clock tower was built to serve as a well-marked clock for pilgrims to proofread time. In addition, the clock can broadcast the prayer to believers via loudspeakers, and the sound of messages can travel up to 7 kilometers. A museum inside the central clock tower houses a collection of Islamic art. In response to more than 10 million annual tourists, the Saudi government renovated Mecca City, constructing many hotels to provide accommodations for pilgrims. Dar al-Handasa, a Lebanese architecture firm, designed Abraj Al Bayt, a building complex in the traditional Islamic style. However, the appearance of the tower is heavily influenced by the renowned Big Ben Tower in London, but much larger and mixed with Islamic elements. Shanghai Tower. Shanghai Tower is intended to embrace and stimulate the city's life. However, the tower provides vertically stacked gathering spaces instead of parks across the city. These innovative sky gardens distinguish the building from any other high-rise ever constructed. In addition, Shanghai Tower offers a new experience for living and working in super tall towers by emphasizing public space and locating shops, restaurants, and urban amenities on the atrium levels. Why is this shape used? The design team at Gensler anticipated that three key strategies, the tower's asymmetrical form, tapering profile, and rounded corners, would allow the structure to withstand the typhoon force winds common in Shanghai. Gensler and structural engineer Thornton Tomasetti refined the tower's form using wind tunnel tests conducted in a Canadian lab, which reduced building wind loads by 24%. As a result, the structure is lighter, which saves $58 million in costly materials. Building a complex shape that had never been imagined before required the most innovative tools. With over 20,000 curtain wall panels, including over 7,000 unique shapes, the facade would have been difficult to visualize using traditional computer-aided design tools. On the other hand, Gensler created a system that balances performance, constructability, maintenance, and design using parametric software. In addition, precision tolerances were achieved by using lasers to take measurements on site. Burj Khalifa. Burj Khalifa is a mixed-use skyscraper in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, the world's tallest building according to all three criteria for judging such structures. Burj Khalifa, known as Burj Dubai during construction, was officially named after the ruler of the neighboring Emirate of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Khalifa ibn Zayed Al Nahyan. Although the tower was officially opened on January 4, 2010, the interior still needed to be completed. The tower, which was built to house a variety of commercial, residential, and hospitality ventures, and whose intended height remained a closely guarded secret throughout its construction, was completed at 162 floors at a height of 2,717 feet. Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, a Chicago-based architectural firm, designed it. Adrian Smith was the architect, and William F. Baker was the structural engineer. The modular structure is laid out on a three-lobe footprint, representing an abstract rendering of the local Hymenocallis flower. The Y-shaped plan is essential in reducing wind forces on the tower. A series of wings, each with its own concrete core and perimeter columns, buttresses a hexagonal central core. As the tower rises in height, the wings step back in a spiral pattern, changing the shape of the building at each tier, and thus reducing the effect of the wind on the building. Finally, the central core emerges from the top of the tower and is finished with a spire that rises more than 700 feet. The spire was built inside the tower and hoisted to its final position with the help of a hydraulic pump. The tower is supported at the foundational level by a reinforced concrete mat nearly 13 feet thick, supported by concrete piles 5 feet in diameter. The tower is held in place by a 3-story podium. The podium and 2-story basement alone measures approximately 2 million square feet. feet. The tower's exterior cladding is composed of aluminum and stainless steel panels, vertical stainless steel tubular fins, and over 28,000 hand-cut glass panels. On the 124th floor, there is a public observation deck called At the Top. Let us know your views about the tallest skyscrapers worldwide. Subscribe for more.